I'm really feeling the look today. This is probably one of my favorite looks that I've done so far on this channel. That's my intro. Hey guys, I'm showing you how I do my makeup today for my TikToks, starting from the top with my eyebrows. So I actually plucked off the tail end of my eyebrows. This was inspired by Snitchery, Ariana Grande, and Doja Cat, but also the tail end of my eyebrows have always just been a little bit patchy and harder to fill out, and I would end up making this huge long eyebrow that just didn't match my face. Now I think it looks better to have my eyebrow be around the length of my eye itself. But also for this look, if you are trying to look like Ariana Grande, her eyebrows are straight and they're short as well, so it helps in this case to do it for this look. So yeah, if you knew me before with my long, thick eyebrows, no, you didn't. I'm using a large flat concealer brush by Morphe, but you can use literally any concealer brush, it does not matter for this part. I'm using my Fenty concealer to act as a frame for my eyebrows, and this just helps it keep it clean and creates a general appearance of the outcome before we get to the very end where we clean it all up and create the final look. It doesn't have to be perfect here, I'm just creating a general shape and vision for what I want my eyebrow to look like. If at any point you end up going over your eyebrow, it's no big deal, just go back over with your eyebrow product and reframe and reconceal as you need to. For this video, I'm only gonna do one eyebrow on the screen, but can we just laugh at how different they look? I'm gonna thin it out and blend it later, but let's just laugh for now. This is my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer in the travel size portion. You would actually be surprised how long that lasts. And there's my Morphe angled brush. Once again, you can use any brush for this part, it does not matter. I just use it to put the product on there, and then after I get a good amount, I just start patting it out. I've tried the NARS eyeshadow primer and I've also used Urban Decay's. Personally, I really like this one because of the white background and how vivid the colors look against it. I'm using my Huda Beauty eyeshadow stick and I'm just gonna go in with the shade Wednesday for now. You can use any basic flat eyeshadow brush, but this is the one I'm using. This formula does dry fast, so it does tend to look a little bit patchy if you don't move quickly with it. However, because we are going to be layering on top with another liquid, it's not too important. What we're really going for here is the shape. I'm going to do a little bit of a wang with my pink eyeshadow. Because I have hooded eyelids, I'm going to go way above that crease, like almost close to the brow. And I'm gonna make sure that even when I'm looking directly at you and my eyes are fully rested, that you're still gonna be able to see all the pink that I packed on. If all your muscles are completely relaxed and you can't see the top of the arch of this shadow, then you need to make it just a little bit higher. Just inch it up, don't be shy. And if you can't get a sharp, perfect wing at the end of it, don't worry about it. All these little smudgy lines over here, you can correct it with foundation or with more eyeshadow primer. I'm going to be putting foundation on all of this anyways, so it doesn't matter. Moisturize before you prime, always, 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 to reduce oiliness. I let my moisturizer sit in my face for 5 minutes, then I go in with my girl Fenty Beauty Matte Primer. I know, mattifying primer and a mattifying moisturizer. I let them both sit for 5 minutes, that way I can see all of the effects. Here, I'm wetting my sponge with water from a MAC Fix Plus spray bottle. Yes, I am so lazy that I literally filled one of these with water, and I do this every single time. Then I go in with my foundation. Make sure you give it a good shake because it says to on the outside. This is just a regular sponge from e.l.f. It's actually pretty cheap, and I'm genuinely surprised by how bouncy and well it blends. I've bought so many beauty blenders in the past, and they would always get moldy really fast, or they would break while I was washing them. So yeah, I have to vouch for these sponges here. You're really just gonna wanna dab it around. Don't try to swipe it around left to right. It should just be bouncing all over your face and blending. We're going back in with your girl, Fenty, the concealer edition. Here's me using another e.l.f. sponge. I actually used so much water on this sponge that when I went to go blend it out, it was coming out a little patchy, not to my liking. You don't necessarily need a sponge like this. This is just me being the absolute lazy girl that I am and not wanting to wash my sponge every day, all day. So I use multiple sponges just to avoid having to do all that extra. It saves some time for me, and I like to think that it helps keep my skin clear. If you're not like me and you don't overwater your sponge, you definitely won't need this much concealer, but here I am just trying to make one side match the other. James Charles says that makeup doesn't slide where you put concealer on it, so here's me putting it on the sides of my nose because this is where I'm going to contour. Make sure to blend it into your chin too. Can't be forgetting the neck now, looking like you're the mask from the 90s. Setting powder time. It's important to me that I don't need to constantly reapply my makeup, and I feel like using this has helped a lot, and it pairs well with my other products. This large brush helps me cover more areas around my face when I brush it around in a rolling type of motion. Do this until your makeup is matte. I lock it all in with my primer water, which can also be used as a setting spray. Hold it 10 to 12 inches away from your face. That way the parts that are water don't land directly on it. Now I'm going in with my Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Foundation Powder. A thick flat brush works really well for this product. I happen to be using a brush. There's an applicator within the compact that's meant for this process. However, I personally like using this brush because I like how it blends and the finish that it gives me. I then go in with the mini buffer brush. This is from the James Charles collection by Morphe. I use it on all the areas that my foundation brush couldn't reach. I know it says ABH on the front, but don't be fooled. It's full of Kat Von D contour shades and only one ABH highlight. This is one of the most important parts of my makeup routine. For my camera TikTok makeup, I use every single shade in this contour palette, starting from the lightest to the darkest. I start from the frame of my face and then I blend inward. That way I create a reverse highlight. If I was just meeting up with people IRL, I would probably stop about into the third darkest shade in from that contour kit, but because we want it to be seen under a ring light, box lights, webcam, we're gonna be heavy duty. Time to snatch the nose. Now up until this point, I've said the brushes don't matter, the brushes don't matter. This is where the brush matters. You're gonna want a flat, slim one to carve out where you want the contour to be sharp. And the other brush that you're gonna need is a thick buffing brush. This is to blend out the edges and to make everything look smooth, seamless, and gradient. I want my nose to look snatched and button-like, so that line that you see me drawing there, yeah, I'm gonna leave it, but I am gonna blend it out a little bit. Depending on your nose shape too, you're probably not gonna wanna do the tapering inward. Sometimes you're gonna wanna do it straight. Just go with what's right for your face. Just like how I contoured my face, I'm using the lightest shade and then I'm going in with the darkest one and I'm continuing that blending process until I have the defined snatched nose. Just keep defining and blending until you can't recognize your real nose anymore. Time to bust out the blush. I use 2 of the shades from this trio and I go in with this tapered blush that I have from the James Charles brush collection. I apply it on my cheeks, I frame my face with it, I put it on my nose, my forehead. To me, this makes me look like a Second Life character and I love it. I own like 7 fan brushes from Morphe, but this is the one that I always go back to. Make sure you mist it before you put it on your face and then apply the misted highlighted brush onto your nose as such. Unfortunately, the highlight that I'm using is discontinued. It's by ABH. You can literally use any highlight in place of this though. Cheekbone time. I'm going in with that discontinued highlight again, and I'm doing my cheekbones with misted water. Because this is camera makeup, I want it to pop and be visible at all angles, so that's why it's so heavy duty, and I'm going in with water to make sure it's extra foily. Now tell me, this did not make all the difference. Now I know you know that I wasn't gonna leave my eyebrows like that, so here I am going back in with my darkest eyebrow shade. But before I do that, I'm just fading them out. I do this literally every time. It might seem crazy, but it works for me. I like when my eyebrows have a transition, so because of that, I use that really dark shade on the tail end of my eyebrow. I work it inward, but I don't fully bring it in. I just make sure that it's just enough so that it redefines the shape and my eyebrows don't look too faded. Use a mix of light and hard pressure, applying the lightest pressure at the top of the eyebrows so that you don't fully take out the foundation and the setting powder, but using the hardest pressure where all the dark brown product is. If you took off some foundation, it's okay because I'm just gonna frame my eyebrows anyways. This is something I do every time, no matter how hard I end up going up there. I find that thinner eyebrows look better on me, and because of that, I take off a lot of the eyebrow that I originally drew on by doing this. I'm using the same concealer brush that I used in the beginning for this entire process. Going back in with my buffer brush and foundation powder. This is to blend out everything that I just did. Now to set it all off with brow gel, brush upward, then outward. This is what really makes my eyebrows for me. It helps brush out and blend the product. Because I have semi-hooded eyelids, I'm gonna go and do a bat wing eyeliner. I'm using ColourPop's BFF eyeliner in black, obviously. If your eyes aren't hooded, you don't need to do this, but for me, I stop it right there, directly where my crease would be. I personally like to make an empty triangle and then fill that out. I feel like it helps me get a guideline. Then I move into my eyeliner on the top of my eyelid. I start off super thin, but you can build it up. Remember the Huda eyeshadow? Right now, I'm just using the shiny side and I'm filling in the entire pink area. Since some of it transferred while it was wet, I have to go back with my eyeliner, which is no big deal, it takes a second. You can also use this part to make your eyeliner look more sharp and defined if you didn't get it right the first time. Moving in with Graceland. This is also by ColourPop. I'm going in towards the top half of where that pink eyeshadow is, and this is where I get my Ariana Rain on Me look. I make this one of my last steps, but right before I put on my eyelashes so I have clear visibility. But here's me doing my inner corner and being very, very careful about it. Go back with foundation as necessary, and if I have to, I even go back with my eyeliner. It's just a process. I'm moving in with the Morphe palette. I'm using the shade in the upper right just to make the brow bone pop. This is my Ride or Die mascara. I use it to blend my lashes to my false eyelashes. It also creates a very nice base for them to stick to. That way, if I take them off, they're not just right on my bare lashes. These were sent to me by Batty Bee Lashes. They're a little understated, and I think they work really well with a look like this. I put eyeliner on the band because I've worn them so many times, and then I go in with my lash glue. The higher quality your eyelash band is, the easier this is going to be to do. If you have a thick, sturdy band, you're going to be able to just literally place it on like this, and then if you want, you can go ahead and use an applicator, or you can be like me and you can use the end of an eyeshadow brush. The smaller it is, the better. This is how much glue I use, by the way. Going in with my ABH bronzer, framing all the same areas that I did with my blush and contour. This makes it look more three-dimensional and Second Life-like. I'm going back in with my darkest contour shade, and I'm redefining the most snatched point of the bridge of my nose. Now I'm using a MAC Dazzle highlight, and I'm misting the brush with water just like I did with my other highlights. This is what's been on my lips this entire time. I'm gonna go ahead and rub it off to put on my matte lipstick. I like to overline my lips. This is something that I feel like looks good on camera for me. It also kind of gives you more of the Ariana Grande effect. If you're somebody who has a roller coaster upper lip, you can go ahead and connect that bridge. Makeup labor is done. This is what we have for the face. Now it's just time to set it all. I know this seems like an excessive amount of setting powder and setting spray. Reminder, I do live in Florida and I do wear my makeup for up to 10 hours a day. I used to have to constantly apply it. This keeps it so that I can only just use my setting powder if I ever want to get a touch up, and I really love that. Now I'm gonna show you guys how I do my space buns. You're gonna want a really pointy ended comb like this to separate your hair down the middle. It takes me a few tries to get it right. And because we're doing space buns, we want it to be even all the way throughout the back, just in case if anybody sees us when we turn around. When I feel like I have my two sides evened out, I go ahead and I start separating my hair as well as the two fringe pieces that are gonna be in the front of my face. Here, I'm using a clip to help me keep it even while I go out and brush the other side. Because I want these two pieces out of the way and under control, I pin them up like this. I know it looks kind of goofy, but bear with me. You're gonna wanna really brush this side out and put hairspray on it. That way you have that slick surface and you don't have a lot of flyaways or frizzies. The part of my hair that's going to be a bun, I'm going to spin it and wrap it around my finger just like this. And I'm going to keep going in that circular motion until I get the bun that I like. Moving to the other side. I'm doing the same thing to the other side, just using a wider hairbrush just to get out some of the tangles. Here's my thing in the middle getting in the way. Last step is to undo the clip. After I undo my clip, I realized that the side of my head still had some frizzies and flyaways. I actually just ended up undoing the side altogether and rebrushing it out. There we go, there we go. The last step that I do here is just using my flat iron. This is just to make sure that it looks ultra sleek. You can put hairspray on it afterwards too if you feel like you may have some wispiness in the ends there. This is the final result for the look. Hey guys, so this is the final look. I just wanted to do it because you guys kept asking. Thank you guys so much for requesting this. I had it in the back of my mind whether I was gonna actually make a video for it or not, but it ended up being 2 of my most like instantly popular TikToks, so had to do it. Y'all asked for it. Now, I don't think it necessarily makes me look like Ariana Grande in the everyday like real life view, but I think when I am on camera and when I'm making TikToks, it does. So that's how it is for me. Now, do I do this makeup IRL in real life every day? No. This is crazy heavy. I have 2 box lights and a ring light on me right now, so yeah. Take it in, take it in. I do this for camera, I do this for my live streams. It's not an everyday look, and I've tried to keep this channel about everyday looks, but if you guys are interested in my TikTok looks, I'll definitely keep making more of those for you. I know my process is a little weird and different, but this is how I get it. And it doesn't always have to be followed to a T. Makeup is art. You can do whatever you want, however you want. There are no rules, so pick and choose what you will. I just wanted to show you how my crazy self does it. If you liked it, go ahead and post it down below. If you have any questions or any requests for any future looks that you want me to do, go ahead and let me know as well. Post it down below in the comments. Otherwise, you guys, I'm Fleeksy on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. So go ahead and peep me on all of my other socials, and I will see you there. Thanks for watching.